Every word, every thought, every emotion, and every dollar carries a vibration. These are not separate forces, but interconnected streams of energy shaping the life you experience. To control one is to influence the others. For the mouth speaks what the mind believes. The mood reflects the unseen thoughts, and money flows where harmony resides. Life responds to the inner blueprint, what you say, think, feel, and allow. The mouth is a powerful tool of creation. Words are not idle, they are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. To speak carelessly is to sow weeds that choke your destiny. Declare health, and you welcome it. Speak lack, and lack becomes your companion. When you understand that your tongue is a wand, you become selective with your spells. You speak beauty into life, peace into chaos, and abundance into what once seemed barren. You train your mouth to follow faith instead of fear. The mind is your workshop, the architect behind all manifestation. What you hold in thought, you hold in hand. The mind can be a loyal servant or a ruthless master. If left unchecked, it wanders into doubt, criticism, and limitation, building walls instead of bridges. Yet, when disciplined, it becomes a sacred channel through which divine ideas flow. Train your mind to focus on what is wanted, not what is dreaded. Replace impossible with all things are possible. Guard your thoughts as you would a priceless treasure, for indeed they are. The mood is the magnet of your experience. Emotion is energy in motion, calling to itself what matches its frequency. When you dwell in irritation, worry, or despair, you align with more situations that evoke the same feeling. But when you choose joy, yes, choose joy, you open the floodgates of blessing. Even in challenge, you can hold a mood of expectancy, knowing that every seeming setback is a hidden advance. Your mood is your atmosphere, and what grows in your atmosphere depends on the climate you create within. Money is the symbol of circulation, a reflection of your inner state. It is neither good nor evil, it simply obeys the law of supply and demand of spirit. If you believe in prosperity, you attract it. If you fear poverty, you make room for its arrival. Money comes where it is welcomed, with wisdom, gratitude, and confidence. It flows away from resentment, worry, and unworthiness. Master your money by mastering the beliefs behind it. Know that you are not chasing wealth. Wealth is drawn to your certainty. To control your mouth, mind, mood, and money is to step into spiritual dominion. Life is not happening to you, it is answering you. Align your speech with truth, your thoughts with possibility, your mood with joy, and your finances with purpose. As you do, the invisible will shape the visible, and your world will reflect the divine order you have allowed. To speak only words that align with what you desire is to claim your power as a creator. Words are your declarations to the universe, and they are never empty. Every statement you make is a command, a decree calling forth experiences that match its vibration. When you speak of success, doors begin to open. When you speak of joy, joy has permission to enter. But when you speak of defeat, frustration, or fear, those too become companions you have unknowingly welcomed. The tongue is a small instrument, yet it shapes the course of life through the energy it releases. Many speak without awareness, repeating phrases of lack or limitation because they have heard them spoken by others. They absorb the world's negative chatter and wonder why their own lives reflect struggle. To shift the outer world, one must first shift the language pouring from within. Your words are seeds planted into the soil of the unseen. Some seeds flourish instantly, others grow quietly beneath the surface before rising into form. Yet every word takes root. A careless expression, spoken in haste or irritation, may bring forth weeds that choke the growth of your blessings. This is why the wise speak with intention. They understand the law behind speech. What you affirm, you allow. To say "I can't" is to place a locked gate before possibility. To say "I always struggle" is to strengthen the chains that bind opportunity. To declare "nothing works out for me" is to push success farther away. The universe listens attentively to the language of the soul. It does not interpret sarcasm or jest. It simply responds to vibration. Therefore, to speak as though what you desire is already yours creates the pathway by which it appears. There is a spiritual authority in your voice. When your speech aligns with faith, you activate higher forces that move on your behalf. A spoken affirmation, repeated with conviction, becomes a blueprint that divine order rushes to fulfill. Saying, "Everything is working out for my good," summons events that support your progress. Saying, "I am provided for in every way," clears the channels through which provision flows. Your speech is a proclamation of identity. You speak either as a victorious being or a defeated one. You choose whether to echo divine truth or fear's illusion. Some speak blessings over others, but curses over themselves, failing to realize their own life is the first field where their words will harvest. When you control the tongue, you choose creation instead of reaction. Many speak what they see rather than what they wish to see. They allow circumstances to dictate their words, not recognizing that words are the very tool meant to transform circumstances. If lack is visible, they describe it endlessly, reinforcing its presence. If illness arises, they speak of it with dread, granting it more power. Yet one can witness a condition without granting it authority in speech. One can acknowledge a challenge while still speaking the desired outcome. To say, "I am healing," even when the body shows otherwise, is to align with the inevitable restoration. To say, "Abundance is coming to me now," even when the bank account appears empty, is to invite prosperity to rush in. Your mouth should become a gateway through which only truth, faith, and high expectation may pass. Complaints weaken your energy, gratitude strengthens it. Gossip lowers your vibration, praise elevates it. Criticism blocks blessings. Declarations of good unlock them. Every time you speak of others with kindness, you attract kindness in return. Every time you express gratitude for what is coming, you increase its speed of arrival. When you speak well of yourself, you honor the divine presence within. Many yearn for miracles while speaking as though miracles are impossible. They hope for joy while declaring stress and worry. They desire success while reciting stories of failure. The mouth must be trained to serve your highest intention, not your temporary feelings. To master your speech requires awareness. Listen to the words you utter each day. Notice the automatic phrases, the subtle complaints, the casual self-diminishment, the habitual worry spoken aloud like a ritual. Replace each with declarations of strength and fulfillment. Instead of, "I'm so unlucky," speak, "Everything aligns perfectly for me." Instead of, "I'm always tired," say, "My body is refreshed and energized." Instead of, "I can't afford that," shift to, "Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways." The mind may resist at first, for it has been conditioned to speak from past experience, but with persistence, a new language of faith will emerge. There is power in silence as well. When the only available words are negative ones, silence becomes a shield. Many victories are protected by saying nothing until speech can align with certainty. To refrain from speaking doubt is to refuse to give it form. You owe no explanation to fear. Words should be chosen with love, but silence too can be a tool of creation. In the quiet, belief gathers strength. In the stillness, desire becomes clearer, and when the moment comes to speak, every syllable is infused with purpose. The tongue can heal or harm, uplift or destroy. Before speaking, ask, does this word create life or diminish it? Does it elevate possibility or empower limitation? Every affirmation of good is a brick placed upon the foundation of success. Every complaint is a crack weakening the structure. You are not required to narrate every observed difficulty. You are not here to confirm the existence of obstacles. You are here to declare your dominion over them. Speak as though the path is clear, even when the fog has not yet lifted. Speak as though joy surrounds you, even when sorrow tries to linger. Speech aligned with faith pierces through the unseen and brings light where shadows once ruled. As you direct your words toward what you desire, You refine your awareness of the divine partnership guiding your life. You trust that the universe hears, responds, and acts. You understand that speech is not merely communication but creation. Speak health and the cells of the body hear you. Speak love and relationships transform. Speak prosperity and new avenues of supply reveal themselves. Speak peace and your atmosphere softens into calm. The outer world shifts in response to the inner decree. For words are instruments shaping the invisible substance from which all things are made. To speak only what aligns with desire is a spiritual discipline. It requires courage to claim abundance when others speak of recession. It requires strength to affirm healing when symptoms suggest otherwise. It requires conviction to declare victory while still walking through challenges. Yet this is the path of the empowered soul, the one who knows that words are the first manifestation of any dream. What you dare to speak, you dare to become. To discipline the mind to focus on possibility is to step into the highest realm of spiritual mastery, for the mind is the silent force behind every manifestation. It is the inner sculptor shaping the form of your experience. What you allow to dwell in the mind becomes the blueprint that life follows faithfully. Thoughts are not idle guests passing through awareness. They are builders constructing the invisible architecture of destiny. When the mind wanders toward fear, doubt, or limitation, it creates walls that block the blessings already on their way. But when the mind is trained to consider only what is good, expansive, and possible, those walls fall away and the path to fulfillment becomes clear. Most people allow their thought life to behave like an untamed horse, running wild, reacting to every outer condition, and leading them into confusion. They think thoughts simply happen to them, without recognizing that they hold dominion over the mental realm. The mind can be commanded, it can be guided toward truth and held in alignment with desire. To discipline the mind is not to force or suppress, but to redirect, again and again with gentle persistence. Just as a gardener uproots weeds before they choke the flowers, the disciplined thinker removes doubt before it takes root. If you permit negative thoughts to linger, they become beliefs, and beliefs become your reality. Possibility thinking requires a refusal to entertain impossibility. When a challenge arises, the undisciplined mind asks, "What if this goes wrong?" The disciplined mind asks, "What new good is unfolding from this?" One thought tightens the door, the other opens it wide. The mind must be shown where to rest its attention. Every moment you have the choice to dwell on what you fear or what you desire. Focus is the steering wheel of consciousness. You travel in the direction of whatever thought you revisit the most. If you repeatedly imagine defeat, life will gather evidence to support the belief. But if you consistently imagine success, seeing it as though it is already done, the universe rushes to deliver it into form. The imagination is the sacred workshop where possibility becomes inevitable. All creation begins with a mental picture. The images you hold are spiritual embryos awaiting birth into the physical world. When you envision abundance with certainty, you energize the very channels through which abundance flows. When you imagine relationships infused with harmony, you shift the vibration that attracts loving interactions. If your mind pictures struggle in vivid detail, that becomes your script. But if you dare to hold a vision of triumph, despite current appearances, you activate the laws of manifestation that reshape circumstances to match the vision. Disciplining the mind means deliberately choosing the thoughts you feed. Some thoughts nourish the soul, others drain it. You must become the gatekeeper of your mental kingdom. Let no idea enter that does not support your highest intention. When a worrisome thought arises, replace it with a declaration of faith. When self-doubt whispers that you are not enough, respond with an affirmation of your divine worth. This is not denial. It is alignment with the truth that lies beneath temporary appearances. Fear may knock at the door of the mind, but faith decides whether that door opens. To focus on possibility is to see beyond the limitations that the senses present. The physical world reflects the past, old beliefs and outdated conditions. If you use only what you see to determine what is possible, you trap yourself in yesterday's story. The disciplined mind looks through the eye of spirit and perceives what is becoming. It understands that the invisible realm is alive with potential, waiting for clear and confident thought to bring it forth. Every great achievement began with a mind that refused to be limited by what currently existed. The pioneers of progress did not ask, "Is it realistic?" They asked, "What if this is the beginning of something greater?" Emotional discipline follows mental discipline, for feelings flow from thoughts. A mind trained to think of possibility experiences peace even when external circumstances try to provoke fear. It feels excitement about what is coming, rather than dread of what might go wrong. This emotional atmosphere becomes a magnet for matching outcomes. When you feel expectant joy, life delivers joyful experiences. When you maintain a mood of optimism, you attract opportunities aligned with that inner frequency. The disciplined mind creates an environment where miracles feel natural. There will be times when the mind tries to drift back into old patterns. Years of conditioning cannot always be undone in a moment. Yet each redirection strengthens mental authority. When a negative thought appears, do not fear it, fight it, or resent it. Release it. Replace it. Offer the mind a better thought, one that reflects the truth of your spiritual power. Say to yourself, "There is always a way. Good is unfolding here. I trust the divine plan at work." These simple reminders shift the internal dialogue from panic to possibility. To focus on possibility is also to embrace curiosity. Instead of deciding prematurely that something is a problem, wonder what hidden gift it contains. Instead of assuming that a delay is destructive, consider how it may be protective. A disciplined mind does not jump to the worst conclusion. It pauses, breathes, and chooses a perspective infused with wisdom. It knows that every experience carries meaning, and every situation holds a key to the next step. When you think from possibility, you do not shrink from life's challenges. You rise into them with inner strength. The most powerful minds are those that think independently of circumstances. They do not allow the opinions or fears of others to dictate their own vision. They remain anchored in faith while others waver. Their certainty becomes the force that shapes new realities. To discipline the mind is to assume responsibility for your inner world, knowing that it is the birthplace of everything you will ever call your own. The world may try to pull your attention toward doubt, but you choose to focus on divine assurance. The world may insist that something cannot be done, but you look deeper and see that all things are possible through spiritual law. Every thought you choose with intention becomes a step toward the life you desire. When the mind consistently contemplates higher possibility, it aligns with the universal intelligence that guides creation itself. Inspired ideas begin to flow, solutions, opportunities, and intuitive nudges that lead you forward. You become receptive to abundance because you expect it. You notice openings that others overlook because you believe there is always a path. What once seemed out of reach becomes natural because the mind prepared the way long before the outcome appeared. To discipline the mind is to claim sovereignty over your internal reality. It is the courageous act of refusing to think small, refusing to think fear, refusing to think from the past. It is the daily practice of choosing thoughts that uplift, empower, and expand. It is knowing that every possibility you entertain is already taking shape in the invisible realm, waiting for the perfect moment to appear in your life as a manifestation of your unwavering faith in what can be. To maintain a joyful and expectant mood is to embody the essence of spiritual magnetism, for emotion is the invitation you extend to your future. Your mood is not merely a reaction to circumstance. It is the energy you broadcast into the universe, calling forth experiences that match its frequency. Joy is not something that arrives after conditions improve. It is the force that compels conditions to improve. Expectancy is not a passive hope. It is an active certainty that good is already unfolding on your behalf. When you choose joy deliberately, even without visible reason, you align with the divine current where miracles occur naturally. Many wait for life to give them a reason to feel good, never realizing that feeling good gives life a reason to bring more good. A joyful mood communicates that you believe in abundance, in possibility, in a loving universe responding to your vibrational signature. When the heart lifts, circumstances rise to meet it. When the mood dims into worry or resentment, life reflects that diminished energy. Emotion is a creative force. It shapes outcomes just as surely as thought and speech do. It is the fuel that powers manifestation. The mind may design the blueprint, but emotion builds the structure. A joyful and expectant mood is a declaration of trust. It says, "I know good is coming, even if I cannot see how." It dismisses doubt before doubt gains a foothold. It turns away from fear and invites the invisible support that surrounds you always. When you hold a mood of expectancy, you do not beg life for blessings, you anticipate them as if their arrival is guaranteed. You rise each day with excitement for unseen possibilities. You speak with enthusiasm. You notice every small sign that confirms divine orchestration at work. This attitude draws success closer, as a magnet draws iron. Mood is the atmosphere of the soul. Just as plants grow differently under sunlight than under shadow, so do the seeds of your intentions grow differently under joy than under despair. If you struggle to feel good, start with the smallest shift. A single breath of gratitude, a gentle smile at your own resilience, an appreciation for the blessings already here. Joy is a choice repeated often, not a gift granted rarely. As you strengthen that choice, it becomes easier to sustain. Joy develops momentum. Expectancy builds power. Soon, positivity becomes your default setting, rather than a special occasion. Challenges will always appear in life, but they do not have to dictate your emotion. Mood mastery means lifting your vibration even when the outer world tries to lower it. It is not pretending that hardship doesn't exist. It is acknowledging that hardship is temporary while your spiritual power is permanent. A joyful mood does not depend on circumstances. Rather, circumstances eventually reflect that joyful mood. You can be in the midst of uncertainty and still feel peace. You can face a closed door while expecting a better one to open. Your mood becomes a testimony of faith, a beacon guiding new blessings toward you. When you maintain a mood of joy, your intuition sharpens. You become more aware of guidance, more receptive to ideas that lead you to the right people, opportunities, and solutions. Stress clouds perception, joy clears it, worry blocks creativity, excitement awakens it. A gloomy mood shrinks possibility, an elevated mood expands it. You begin to recognize synchronicities, little hints from the universe that you are on the correct path. Each coincidence becomes a confirmation, each blessing becomes evidence. You feel a sense of partnership with life, rather than opposition. Expectancy is the emotional stance that says everything is working for my highest good. Not just some things, not only easy things, everything. This conviction dissolves emotional turbulence. You no longer fear outcomes because you trust divine intelligence with the details. You no longer cling to rigid plans because you know better ones may form. Expectancy frees the heart to remain light, open, and joyful in all circumstances. It invites miracles in ordinary moments. A phone call, a message, a chance encounter, an idea arriving precisely when needed. What others call coincidence, the joyful soul recognizes as destiny in motion. A joyful and expectant mood also influences the body. Cells respond to vibration. Joy promotes vitality, strengthens immunity, and renews energy. Hopeful expectancy relaxes the nervous system, allowing healing processes to operate freely. Emotional harmony is physical harmony. The mood you hold becomes the health you live. Every thought and every feeling is heard by the body. When you choose joy, the body celebrates. When you expect well-being, the body follows your belief. Some will ask, how can I feel joyful when circumstances are difficult? The answer lies in choosing where to give attention. Every moment contains something to appreciate, even if small. Every challenge contains a lesson, even if hidden. Every detour contains redirection, even if inconvenient. Joy is not naivete, it is spiritual intelligence. It is the awareness that life is always working in your favor, even when the evidence has not yet surfaced. Expectancy is not denial, it is alignment with the unseen truth. To maintain this elevated mood, surround yourself with what nourishes the soul. Engage in thoughts that uplift, speak words that inspire, spend time with people and environments that encourage new possibilities. Protect your emotional state as you would a precious treasure. If negativity attempts to sway you, return to gratitude. Gratitude is the fast track back to joy. A grateful heart cannot dwell in despair, for gratitude reveals the abundance already within reach. Remember that moods are magnetic. If you feel frustrated, you call forth situations that echo frustration. If you feel blessed, you attract more that feels like blessing. The universe listens not only to what you say or think, but to what you consistently feel. Emotion is energy in motion, a signal broadcast outward and answered back with matching experiences. When you maintain joy, you set a frequency that success can easily find. There will be days when joy requires conscious effort, when expectation must be chosen again and again. But every time you return to that elevated mood, you reinforce the spiritual truth. You are creating from the inside out. You are not the victim of circumstance, you are the author of it. A joyful and expectant mood turns life into a dance with the divine, each step guided, each moment filled with potential. It is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, between hope and realization, between the unseen and the seen. To welcome money with wise and confident beliefs is to understand that prosperity is not merely a physical transaction, but a spiritual agreement. Money responds to the energy you hold about it. It flows where it is honored, respected, and expected. When your beliefs are rooted in confidence rather than fear, in abundance rather than scarcity, money becomes a loyal servant rather than a distant dream. Many desire wealth while speaking words or holding thoughts that reject it. They long for more, yet believe there is not enough. They hope for overflow while feeling unworthy of possession. Money cannot stay where it is resented, feared, or misunderstood. It gravitates toward those who treat it as a welcomed ally in the journey of purposeful living. Every belief you hold about money becomes a rule that governs its behavior in your life. If you believe money is hard to earn, it will obey and come only with struggle. If you believe money corrupts, you will subconsciously keep it away to preserve your integrity. If you believe wealth is reserved for others, the universe takes you at your word. Yet if you believe money is a tool for good, it will arrive to help you do good. If you believe abundance is your birthright, prosperity will seek to confirm that truth. Your financial experience is not determined by the economy, your upbringing, or your current job. It is shaped by the inner laws you have written through belief. Confident beliefs about money do not mean arrogance. They mean certainty that the universe supports your well-being. Money is an expression of energy, and energy is abundant. There is no shortage in spirit. Like oxygen, wealth is plentiful and always circulating, waiting for an open and receptive vessel. Scarcity is a perception learned from a world focused on competition. In spiritual truth, supply is infinite. To adopt confident beliefs is to remember the source of your provision is not limited by human systems. Prosperity flows through ideas, opportunities, inspiration, and divine timing. When you understand this, you no longer fear changes in circumstance, because you know that source is changeless. Welcoming money wisely also means managing it with gratitude and clarity. Money thrives in the presence of order. When you treat finances with careless disregard, they scatter. When you approach them with respect, budgeting, tracking, saving, investing, money responds with loyalty. Wisdom and abundance are partners. The spiritually abundant soul does not chase money. They attract it through alignment and then direct it with intelligence. Every dollar becomes a seed that, when planted in fertile soil, grows into greater supply. Waste, worry, and impulsiveness hinder the harvest. Confidence, combined with stewardship, is the formula through which wealth multiplies. Fear is the greatest barrier to financial flow. Fear whispers that there will not be enough, that money will run out, that prosperity is fragile. It convinces you to cling tightly to what you have, creating energetic stagnation. Money, like breath, must circulate. When you give with faith, you create room to receive more. When you spend joyfully on what supports your life, you send a signal of trust to the universe. When you handle money with appreciation rather than anxiety, you elevate its vibration. Gratitude magnetizes wealth. Every time you bless the money in your hand, you increase the money on its way. Wise beliefs acknowledge that money amplifies the soul. In the hands of a generous heart, wealth becomes a blessing to others. In the hands of a fearful heart, wealth becomes a burden. Confident beliefs allow money to express the highest intentions of the spirit. They dissolve guilt and shame surrounding wealth and replace them with purpose. Money does not change who you are, it reveals more of who you already are. If your intentions are noble, abundance will expand your ability to create good in the world. To deny yourself prosperity out of guilt or humility is to deprive the world of what your abundance could accomplish. There are those who speak of money with bitterness, calling it evil or greedy. Their resentment blocks the flow they secretly desire. One cannot call something wicked and expect it to bless them. Spiritual maturity recognizes that money itself carries no moral quality. It is a neutral force shaped by the heart of its holder. When you welcome money with love, clarity, and dignity, you transform it into a channel of spiritual expression. You use it to uplift your life and the lives of others. You allow it to circulate freely, trusting that more will always return. Confidence in financial abundance is not based on the amount you currently possess. It is a mindset present even when the wallet is not full. It is the inner knowing that supply is already on the way. When you believe provision must be visible before you can feel secure, you reverse the creative order. Security comes from knowing the source, not counting the coins. When your belief is strong, money increases to match it. When your belief is weak, money retreats. You lead with faith, and finances follow. To welcome money wisely means valuing your talents, your time, and the gifts you bring to the world. Many underprice their abilities because they underestimate their worth. They give generously but receive sparsely. They allow others to take but hesitate to accept compensation. This imbalance sends a message to the universe that they are unworthy of wealth. Fair exchange honors both giver and receiver. When you recognize your value and allow financial returns to reflect it, you strengthen the flow of abundance. Confidence is not demanding or selfish. It is acknowledging that your contributions deserve recognition. Your financial atmosphere is shaped by the thoughts you repeat most frequently. Do you think of what you lack or of what you are welcoming? Do you speak of rising financial freedom or constant struggle? Do you celebrate others' success or resent it? Jealousy pushes abundance away. Celebration invites it closer. When you see someone prosper and declare, "That is possible for me," you align with similar blessings. Money responds to the emotional environment you create. Prosperity also grows through joyful anticipation. When you expect wealth, you notice opportunities others overlook. You become bold in decision-making, guided by intuition rather than fear. You trust the timing of your life. Financial channels open because you believe they exist. Expectancy is faith in motion. It quickens manifestation, reminding the universe that you are ready to receive. Above all, wise and confident beliefs about money align with purpose. Wealth without purpose becomes empty, but when money supports your highest calling, it flows freely. You are not meant to merely survive, but to thrive and contribute. Prosperity is part of your spiritual expansion, a reflection of the limitless nature of the divine expressing through you. To align inner order to manifest outer abundance is to understand that life is a mirror reflecting what lies at the core of your being. Every experience, every opportunity, every condition in the physical world arises from the spiritual and mental environment you cultivate within. When your inner world is harmonious, clear, and aligned with your highest intention, the outer world responds with equivalent order. But when your inner space is filled with chaos, conflicting beliefs, self-doubt, or unhealed emotion, the external becomes tangled and restrictive. Abundance flows naturally to the soul whose inner life is organized around faith, clarity, and purpose. Inner order begins with awareness of what you allow to reside in the mind and heart. Some carry past disappointments like heavy stones, allowing memories of lack or failure to shape present expectation. These stored fears act as barriers, blocking the free flow of new opportunities. To align inner order is to release the old narratives that contradict the prosperity you desire. It means forgiving situations that felt unfair, letting go of grievances, and dissolving shame associated with past financial or personal mistakes. When you clear inner space, the universe fills it with something greater. Thoughts must support the abundance you seek. If the inner dialogue is filled with confusion, fear, or contradiction, the manifestation process becomes scattered. You cannot affirm prosperity while secretly believing you are destined for struggle. You cannot seek expansion while holding a tight grip on fear of loss. Inner order means consistency between belief and desire. You decide what truth you will stand upon and remove every thought that opposes it. Like a gardener, you prune away the mental weeds that threaten the fruit of your intentions. As the mind becomes disciplined, the energy of creation strengthens. Emotion also plays a powerful role in inner alignment. Abundance is a high vibration. Resentment, doubt, and anxiety exist on lower frequencies. When you dwell emotionally in worry, you signal the universe to deliver more situations that provoke worry. But when you hold peace, gratitude, and expectancy, you become a magnet for support and success. Emotional coherence, the agreement between what you think, feel, and expect, sets the stage for manifestation. When the heart and mind flow together in confidence, abundance responds without resistance. Peace is the foundation on which prosperity builds. Your habits and daily practices reflect the inner state. Disorder in the physical environment often mirrors inner hesitation or uncertainty. When you organize your surroundings, you affirm readiness for greater things. A cluttered space suggests scattered energy. A clean and orderly space opens channels for clarity. When you care for what you already have, you show the universe that you are prepared for more. Abundance avoids places where it will be neglected, mismanaged, or unappreciated. Order invites expansion. Alignment also calls for making decisions that reflect trust rather than fear. Every choice you make is either an act of faith or an act of doubt. When you choose from fear, you shrink your possibility. When you choose from confidence, you expand it. To align inner order, you must become clear about what you want, and then act as though it is already moving toward you. Indecision blocks abundance because it creates confusion in the energetic field. Clarity opens doorways. Declare your intention with certainty. Move in harmony with that vision, and trust that the next step will always reveal itself. Self-worth is essential to inner order. If you believe you are unworthy of abundance, it cannot comfortably reside with you. Prosperity dwells where it is welcomed without apology. Many push abundance away by doubting their value, feeling undeserving of wealth, success, or happiness. Inner alignment means knowing that you are worthy not because of what you have accomplished, but because of what you are. A divine expression of limitless possibility. When you honor yourself, life honors you, with opportunities that reflect that recognition. Worthiness opens the gates that unworthiness keeps locked. Faith is the anchor that keeps inner order steady even in changing circumstances. When challenges arise, the aligned inner life remains unshaken. You do not panic or assume the worst. Instead, you hold steadfast to the truth that good is still unfolding. Outer appearances cannot disrupt the inner knowing that divine timing is perfect. This unwavering faith creates an energetic stability that abundance trusts. Money, success, and opportunities gravitate to those who are grounded in certainty. The universe invests in those who invest in their own belief. Inner order also means setting intentions with purity. Your desire for abundance must be linked to a meaningful purpose. When your intention is aligned with growth, contribution, and fulfillment, manifestation becomes swift. But when intentions stem from fear, competition, or desperation, the flow becomes blocked. True abundance is a spiritual frequency that supports the unfolding of your soul's mission. When you desire wealth to express, create, and uplift, you harmonize with the universal laws of prosperity. Daily rituals help maintain alignment. Meditation stills the noise and reveals intuitive guidance. Affirmations reinforce belief. Gratitude expands awareness of blessings already present. Journaling brings clarity to the direction you are moving. Silence opens the channel for divine inspiration. These practices are not chores, they are spiritual nourishment that keeps inner order strong. The more you nurture your inner world, the more effortlessly the outer world rearranges itself to reflect your expanding good. Relationships also play a role in inner alignment. Surround yourself with those who encourage growth and support your vision. Distance yourself from voices that speak limitation, fear, or cynicism. Energy is contagious. When you connect with those who think abundantly, your belief grows stronger. When you allow negativity to seep into your consciousness, your inner order becomes vulnerable. Protect your frequency as you would a precious treasure. Only align with influences that nourish the version of you that is rising. To align inner order is to trust that your life is guided. You are not alone in your pursuit of abundance. The universe responds to your inner clarity, arranging people, ideas, and circumstances to manifest what you are prepared to receive. When your intention is focused, your emotion is elevated, your belief is unwavering, and your environment reflects readiness, outer abundance flows with grace. Your role is not to force outcomes but to align with them. When the inner world is organized in truth, the outer world becomes a harmonious reflection of limitless supply.